Okay, so am I the only one who's noticed that in the Attack on Titan fandom, it's like the black fans who are way more likely to be against the ending than white fans are? Like, and this is talking about like the American fandom, right? I noticed that like white people seem to be like pretty split versus black people. I feel like we're like 3 to 4 out of 5 against the ending. A lot of the biggest diatribes against the ending that are like hard against the ending are like black people. And a lot of like the more sort of wishy-washy or pro Attack on Titan ending, the usually like the whiter the person is on average. And this is like, people are going to be like, oh, but what about exception? This is not, I'm saying this is a general trend that I've noticed. And I feel like, honestly, reacting to oppression or subjugation sort of narratives just in fiction generally are like extremely popular. But I feel like a lot of white people don't relate to that or really like understand that. Like, to them, like, it's just a pure fiction because they don't actually have that experience of feeling like part of like an oppressed or mistreated or disliked or a group that faces bias or discrimination. And so everything about it is like kind of like conceptual and they have no real basis to actually understand it. So when people who have actually experienced that, like, read the story, or obviously it's not the same. I'm not saying, don't get it twisted, but it's like when people can have even a little bit of relatability to being part of a group that's been disliked or hated or even just stereotyped or anything, they're able to actually understand when the writer writes that group in a way that doesn't make sense or is not how people would actually feel in that way more than somebody who doesn't. And they actually feel a lot more empathy. Like, they're able to actually put themselves in the shoes of like an Eren or just like the people parody a lot more. And I'm not going to lie, it was actually surprising to me how many people were going out of their way to defend the Attack on Titan ending. Like, I low-key lost respect for a lot of anime YouTubers and YouTube essayists who were making the most like vapid video essays that didn't address the core issues or contradictions or retcons. Some of them are just like objective plot holes in the story. And this is not I don't have time in this short form video to explain what those are. You're going to have to go search it up on your own. This is about the fandom reaction. I think part of that is that they never actually cared that deeply about the themes of the story because they didn't relate to that oppression narrative for them. That's just an excuse to give the cool, edgy sort of like aesthetic and excuse for the conflict. They don't actually relate or understand that at all. They're not able to either. So when the themes were contradicted and you got ridiculous nonsense like this panel, they had like literally no context to do it. And it's crazy, but it shows how blind some people can really be.